Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the Lockport Township regular July meeting. I'd like tonight to start out with the Pledge of Allegiance. I would ask for Denise Rumcheck to please lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll start tonight with a roll call of officers.
Supervisor Ron Alberico.
Here.
Trustee Mike Kelly.
Here.
Trustee John Bodisich.
Here.
Trustee Barb Boyce.
Here.
Trustee Mike Lewandowski.
Here.
Highway Commissioner Shalinski.
Here.
Elector Morelli.
Here.
And our attorney Gary Mueller is here. And Assessor Mason is on vacation.
All right. Everybody should have received in their packet the minutes of the June 10th regular meeting, the April 28th workshop for our strategic building plan, and the March 31st budget workshop. I do need a motion to pass the minutes.
I'll second it.
I got a motion by John Bodisich, a second by Michael Lewandowski. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. All right, we have the bills of $151,033.24.
I'll make that motion to pay the bills.
I got a motion by Barbara Boyce.
Second.
Mike Kelly seconds it. Are there any questions of the bills tonight? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Alberico.
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes.
Bodisich.
Yes.
Boyce.
Yes.
Lewandowski.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. I'm getting preoccupied with something else here. Next is our clerk's report. Tonight, we're going to, we're lucky enough for Nancy Voots, our Honorable Nancy Voots, to be here tonight to help swear in our new clerk, who's a lot prettier face than what I'm used to sitting next to me, I have to say.
Wow.
Sorry about that, George. We do miss you up here, but I have to say she's a lot prettier than you are. A lot more hair, yes. But I would like to have Nancy come up here and swear in Denise for us.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Hi, Gary. First of all, before I start, I would like to say what a pleasure it's been, and wish George happy retirement. We worked many years, and he really got the voters, increased voter turnout with early voting and registering the people out here in Lockport, and I want to also thank the staff. But I've also worked with Denise for 17 years, so it's been a pleasure, and I'm honored to be out here to swear you in. So
I'm very honored.
well, I know we're going to work well together.
Absolutely.
For the November election to get that vote out again.
Yes.
So if you just raise your right hand and repeat after me, and then state your name. I
I, Denise Mushrow Rumcheck,
have been appointed
have been appointed
to the office of Lockport Township
to the office of Lockport Township
Clerk
Clerk
in the County of Will.
in the County of Will.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Lockport Township Clerk
of the Lockport Township Clerk
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Very good. Another hug. And we'll keep that on file. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, too.
Thank you for coming tonight and taking time out of your busy schedule. We do appreciate that.
So can I say a few words, too, about
Yeah.
what time do you want me to do that?
That'd be fine right now, as long as you're up here while we do that.
Okay. Okay, I thought since I'm here, I could mention some important dates that are coming ahead. First of all, the election is November 4th, and we want to make sure that the residents in Will County get out to register to vote now. Take advantage of the time now, and especially our students, that before they go away to college, that they want to get registered before they go to college. And even if they do go away to college, they could request an absentee ballot so it will go right to them at school, so they could be voting for our local candidates here. That's important for these youngsters to be able to do that. And all they have to do is go to my website, thewillcountyclerk.com, and they could do it right online, and a ballot will come to them, they vote, and mail it back. So please take advantage of that. But the first day that we're actually able to mail out any ballots by law is September 25th. And then the last day to register to vote is October 7th. But if somebody approaches you on October 8th and they really want to vote for somebody, all you have to, there's a law out there that's called grace period voting, and they could register and vote, and they could do that at the county clerk's office and my office at 302 North Chicago Street. But the governor just signed a bill, House Bill 105, that I want to educate our residents that now we have grace period even on election day. It used to be that it cut off on that Saturday before the election. Now it's extended all the way to on election day, November 4th, that they could come in, register, and vote. But one thing that everybody has to remember, you only get one vote in this county. You can't think that you could go vote early or go vote and have a ballot mailed to you. It is tracked when somebody does get a ballot mailed to their home. Once it comes back, we have to scan it and we have to verify the signatures, just like they had to do at the township here. They did a great job with our residents, making sure that they were the proper with identification that they had to show, and they had to sign the application. They have to compare that is that same signature when that resident registered to vote. But now the House Bill 105 says now at the early voting sites they don't have to show government ID. So that's something that's new, but they do have to verify the signatures to make sure they're matched. And if there is any question, then they are going to be able to have to show identification. Just checks and balances. And then the first day for early voting is October 20th, and it goes all the way till November 1st. So, and then the election is November 4th. So we have to take advantage of these months ahead of us to make sure that people get registered and they get out and vote, because it's a shame when we have our local elections and the turnout is like 13%, 18%. So we always want to increase our voter turnout. And there really isn't any excuse why people don't vote. You could have a ballot mailed to your home, you could take advantage of early voting, or you could go vote on election day. So there's many choices for you. And now with that new House Bill 105, you could vote, register and vote on election day. And one of the early voting sites here, I have 23 sites throughout Will County, and Lockport Township was one of them. But we have to have permanent polling places now in our largest municipalities. So we're going to have another one in the city of Joliet, one in Village of Bolingbrook, and city of Naperville, because they meet their population requirement. And we have to be open even extended hours till till 7 o'clock in the evening on that Saturday and Sunday and Monday. So there's many more hours for people to get out and take advantage of early voting. So just make sure you get registered and get out and take advantage of voting, because November 4th is right around the corner. But thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Nancy, can I ask you a question?
Sure, Mike.
I thought that there was also a bill that was going to increase the mail-in ballots by 90 days prior to the November 4th election. Did that not go?
September 25th is the first day by law that you could request one right now. So if you want to, you could call my office, 815-740-4615. We could take that application now. But we can't, first day that we can mail by law is September 25th.
Okay.
So if somebody really wants, like right now, if anybody's, when they're listening to this, we already have many, many requests in the system, but the first day by law is September 25th.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then you will be getting your voter information guide in the mail, one per household, and that gives you all this information that I'm telling you about. Take advantage of mail-in, have a ballot mailed to you, take advantage of early voting, or we even give you a picture of your polling place and sample ballots. And you could take that sample ballot in with you when you go take advantage of early voting or the polling place. So that's a nice, and then you could be educated before you go out and vote.
Right.
And this August, every 2 years by law, I'm required to send out new voters cards in Will County. So you'll be getting a new voters card in the mail, and it will tell your polling place and what you're able to vote for, and along with the voter information guide. So the residents in Will County get 2 pieces of mail. They're getting a personal invitation of the election, what's going on in here in Will County. So we have to take advantage. We got to get that voter turnout out. So that's why I really appreciate you giving me this opportunity to talk, so that everybody could.
We appreciate you coming out here today.
And if you ever want me to come back, just say something.
Okay,
All right,
we'll
have a
do
good
that.
night. Thanks, Nancy.
And anybody wanting to register to vote, I'm sure can come to your office.
They can come to my office. They can go to precinct committeemen, they can go to the township.
Yeah.
A lot of the precinct committeemen are registrars, our schools, our libraries, our banks. We have over 1,000 registrars in Will County.
There shouldn't be any problem not being registered.
No, and then they could go register at the Secretary of State's office too. So, but when you do register to vote, you have to have 2 forms of identification, one with your current address on. So, but if you ever have any questions, just call the office, 815-740-4615.
Thank you very much. All right, clerk's report, now that you're sworn in.
I would like to have Michelle Rudder as my deputy clerk, and we need a vote by the Board of Trustees. So if we could have a vote for her to be deputy.
Motion.
Motion?
I'll make that motion.
We got a motion by Barbara Boyce.
I'll second it.
Second by John Bodisich. Can I have a roll call, please?
Alberico?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
Bodisich?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Lewandowski?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations on
Thank you.
promotion. Anything else in your report for tonight?
No, I would just, like to thank the board and my friends and family that are here tonight. This is an honor to be up here, my first meeting. This is my first official week of work. So everything is good so far. We're just getting organized in the clerk's office, so
Glad to have you as a official now.
thank you. Thank you. It's an honor.
All right, the assessor is out of town right now, so we won't have an assessor's report. Trustees' comments and suggestions tonight. Do we have any? Hearing none, we'll go on to the Central Square report. I want to compliment the city of Lockport. They took it upon themselves to do a lot of remodeling in the boardroom here. They put the new big TVs up and all new chairs, and they did a lot of painting and fixing the room up. And I have to say, it's all on their dime, and I'm sure Central Square appreciates it. And they're doing a nice job. I know they're talking next year of doing some more improvements in this room. The only other thing in our meeting that we did discuss, we're talking about putting a bench out in the back, a commemorative bench. Back about 4 years ago, there was a movie filmed here, Public Enemy, with Johnny Depp in it, and they used our back parking lot as one of the spots where they did some filming, and they had a bench sitting there, and Johnny Depp and a few actors were sitting on it, and they filmed, and it looked like, and they had some old cars driving around the block. But anyway, they want to put a bench that resembles the original bench with a plaque on it. So we might be doing that just as a commemorative kind of a thing, if it doesn't turn out to be too expensive. That's the only thing we kind of discussed in Central Square. Old business, we have nothing in old business tonight. New business, I did want to mention that I distributed the annual financial report to everybody tonight. That's for your nighttime reading and enjoyment. The other thing I want to discuss tonight is our annual spring cleanup. I've talked to each of you individually this past couple of months here. We had our spring cleanup, it's usually in May on Mother's Day weekend. Through the years, we started that back in, I want to say in the late 90s, early 90s, I think we started that spring cleanup. And at that point in time, it was a very, very helpful to the residents. A lot of people used the weekend to get rid of a lot of refrigerators, TVs, all kinds of different stuff back then. But as the years gone by, more and more people in the unincorporated areas, now pretty much 95% of them have a weekly garbage pickup, and they take one big item a week on their garbage pickups. And because of the law changes and stuff, we can't take any electronics like TVs, computers, printers, DVDs, VCRs, any kind of electronic devices. We can't take any hazardous material such as paints and paint thinners and insecticides or used oil. We can't pick up any yard waste or any old construction material. So these restrictions pretty much severely limit the program's ability to serve our residents. So, and the cost of this program, I think, would be better spent to serve our residents in other ways. So I would like to make a motion that we discontinue the spring cleanup for this year and see. I don't believe it's really, you know, I really don't believe it's worth the money anymore. So I'll make that motion. I do need a second.
Didn't we have it already?
What's that?
Didn't we have it already?
Yes, we did.
You're talking about next year?
Yeah, for next year. We're not going to do it next year.
Okay.
Yeah, we did have it the weekend of Mother's Day. I think it was that Saturday. I don't know the date right offhand, but
Do we have to vote to discontinue that, or can we just not put it in the budget next year?
Not budget if you want, or, Ron's correct, you could also do it as a discontinuance now.
I would like to just have my support of the board as to why we're discontinuing it, you know, that we,
Well, I don't see a problem with discontinuing it, but we just don't have to put it in the budget next year, right?
Right, let's just ask if there's any objections to his proposal.
yeah, I just, basically, I want your
Okay,
opinions
all
too,
right,
since it's
all
you
right.
guys, you know.
We discussed it before.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make it clear to everybody in the audience and to you guys as to why I don't believe it should be in the budget next year. So,
Ron, I do have a question. Will you have a method of informing the residents that there will no longer be a
well, I
spring
probably will
cleanup?
put it, I have it kind of written up to put it in our fall newsletter, which will be coming out in September. So that'll make the announcement of some of the changes that's coming up in the township. So yes. And everybody in town, every household should get that newsletter. I know we always fail to get one or two houses, but we try to get them all.
It might be also helpful if we can write down in the newsletter where things can be recycled if someone wants to take TVs or something that normally wouldn't.
And there is, Lockport has one here. I know Will County has a couple of different spots where you can, electronics. Lockport's is off of Division, I believe, by the, what's that? Yeah, right past Gauger, right next to the dome, the,
Yeah, it's Prime Drive.
Prime Drive.
Yeah, that's the city. They do TVs.
They do TVs and all electronic devices.
Yeah, and then your hazardous material, Will County comes out with a different place every year.
Right. All right, other than that, I did have approval of the city of Lockport to use our standard bus. They never did. I've asked them a couple of times. They called me and asked me if they could use the bus for, what they're having, some kind of a gala for the arts here in town, but they never sent me a request, so I'm gonna, table that. You know, I've asked them, they didn't send me the request, so
It's coming up pretty quick.
it is coming up on the 25th. I did talk to the mayor. I believe he kind of indicated to me he thought they did come up with a better, different system. They're gonna get the people, they didn't need the bus, so. But anyway,
So
I want to table that.
how are we gonna table it if we're not gonna meet?
Just, we're not gonna vote on it.
Okay,
You know,
because we're not, right, 'cause it won't come up for,
no. It's not gonna come back up. They didn't,
so in 2 weeks, if their other plan falls through,
they can't, they didn't,
can't
we don't
come.
have the board approval.
and at that point come,
I told them, I told them I have to have the
all right,
approval tonight to get it for the 25th. Now, should they change it for 3 months from now, they can approach me, and I'll send you all the information, and we can vote on it. But no, they can't use the bus without the board approval. The only other thing, I have a couple of things just for information purposes. I wanted to bring up, I did get a letter, and I sent a copy to everybody about the pipeline safety. We do have some pipelines running through Lockport Township, mostly on the northern end of town. Actually, there's a few. This one is from Shell. I don't think Shell has that many pipelines, but I know Emron does, and there's a few other different oil companies that do. But I just wanted to make sure that everybody's aware that there are pipelines and what if you see anything like liquid pools or discolored abnormal soil, or you hear a whistling or hissing of sound, or anything like that, or an unusual smell, report it, call 911 immediately. There's also you can call, I think it's 811 for information on if it's not an emergency. But 911 if it's an emergency, and if you suspect a leak, turn off all equipment, leave the area quickly, warn the others to stay away and call 911. Don't use open flames, and don't attempt to operate any kind of pipeline valves or shut off the valves or anything like that. Just get away from it and call 911. Make sure all the residents are aware of that. The other topic I did want to bring up, I get every month now in the summer, I get from Clark Mosquito Abatement Company our monthly report. It basically says we got a lot of rain and everything's wet. There's a lot of mosquitoes out there. We haven't had any West Nile diseases come up yet, no dead birds in Will County. It does here have when I suspect the mosquitoes to start hatching, and yesterday was the last day of what they reported, so there's a lot of mosquitoes out there. And they ask, as they do all the time, not to, if you have any tires with water sitting in them, any kind of bird baths or anything like that, make sure you empty the water, because that's where the mosquitoes hatch. That's all I have under new business. I have nothing under, well, I do have under meetings and correspondence. We did receive a thank you note from Jessica Sullivan, who was one of our recipients of the scholarship last month. Sent us I sent everybody a copy of that. Other than that, any citizens wishing to address the board here tonight? Hearing none, I have nothing else in this meeting. I would call for an adjournment.
So moved.
I got a motion by John Badisich, and I believe Mike Lewandowski. Mike Lewandowski, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. We'll move now into our road and bridge. Again, everybody should have the minutes in their packet of the regular meeting that was held on June 10th. And you also have the June 30th bid opening for various road projects that are in the...
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
We got a motion by Mike Lewandowski,
I'll second it.
second by Barbara Boyce. Are there any questions in the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. You have the bills of $56,627.69. I have a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barbara Boyce,
Second.
a second by Michael Kelly. Are there any questions of the bills? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Walrico,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Badisich.
Yes.
Boyce.
Yes.
Lewandowski.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Mr. Solinsky, the Highway Commissioner's report.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I want to welcome Denise to office. Looking forward to working with you. I've been working with George and Denise for my whole first year here, and have a very good relationship, so I'm sure we'll continue that and work well together. So welcome to the office, and we're going to miss you, George, but I'm sure you played a million rounds of golf already. You know, Ron has you mentioned that 811 is actually, if you dig in the area, call 811, which is it's calling Julie.
Like Julie, yeah.
And George would probably appreciate this. When I first started golf and I was digging so much at the course, one of my friends made a comment, you better call Julie before you play next time. But as far as report goes, had a storm that was rather large, put a lot of barricades out, we had a lot of power lines down, a lot of flooding. The flooding, we got calls about flooding, and what's unique about the flooding is there's not a whole lot we can do unless there's limbs or drains are plugged. I believe we got a call that the water was actually, there was so much water so quick, the water was coming out of the drain, just couldn't handle it. So without spending millions of dollars to put bigger drains in for those couple, 1 or 2 times it rains like that every so many years. But The crews were out taking care of the limbs and picking up branches. They still are out, actually, every day. They've done a great job working through lunches and trying to get the township cleaned up, and we're just about caught up. So I want to thank them and thank the residents for their patience with the 5 guys we have working for the 54 miles of road. You know, it takes us a while to get there, but we had all hands on deck. The other thing, what you mentioned, we went out for bid to pave Lakewood Falls, that area, and Bruce Road. The bids came in. We're probably going to award that to the lowest bidder here in another day or two. We just have to get a little bit of paperwork from the lowest bidder to make everything all tidy. So we're very excited about that. The money that we saved last year at the Highway Department, along with the money that the township gave us, we're very happy to put that money to work in repairing some much needed, some bad roads, much needed repairs. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have. The big storm was the big thing, and the open up the bids, that was my first time, so that was exciting, learning that process. And the other thing I have in my report is the Torma loss control policy. It was brought up last month. It was decided to do a little more research on it. In the meantime, in Lyle, they had a, Torma had their little meetings there and conference. Actually, it was TOI, and Torma was there, and I asked them about it, and they basically said it's a standard document. They wouldn't really accept any changes because it's so standard. And I said, well, what if we don't sign it? I mean, and there was no penalty for not signing it. He basically said it would, if there was a legal action against Lockport Township, it would take care of the first day of questioning. I guess that kind of covers a lot of the questions they would ask that first day. So we're gonna go, I think, ask the trustees if you guys want to sign this and approve it.
Yeah.
That's fine with me. If you guys decide you don't want to do it, that's, there's no penalty for us. I wanted to make that clear because this is something that wasn't familiar with. This is the first time I'm dealing with it, so.
You know, basically, to be honest with you, I was unfamiliar with it, and I did send it to our attorney. He did read it. He responded, basically saying the same thing. It's a boilerplate. I found it in Torma's manual. It's in our manuals. You know, it's what we accept. So I would make the motion we sign it.
Well, I'd like to hear from our attorney, how important are these changes that you suggested?
Thank you for asking. The direct answer is, the view that I took to the review was, Torma has its standardized language. And
I understand
that we, if we were to put it into our own manual, perhaps we would then make those types of changes. I'm not sure that that's what the Highway Commissioner is planning on doing, is to put it into our actual manual. So by approving this, we're certainly covering ourselves. It's just if we wanted to then put it into our own manual, we may want to make those changes.
From what I understand, this is an agreement between us and Torma, is that correct?
Correct, but then there's some parts of the policy which we would then want to encourage our employees perhaps to make sure that they're following the same type of policy. So that's why if we put it into our own manual, that's why it might be beneficial.
Let me say something on why I have a problem with this. I'm not happy with this line that says, for this reason, all township officials are responsible. The trustees are not in the everyday working hours of any office with the township. Sure. So how can we possibly be responsible for providing adequate resources when we're not here every day?
I think the general language of that, Trustee Kelly, is simply it's kind of going backwards, meaning part of what the Highway Commissioner's budget consists of is what this board then approves. So from that very, very infinitesimal connection, that's what that references, is that by approving the basic budget, you then have some level of responsibility making sure that you're approving what the Highway Commissioner came up with. Similarly, for our own policy, if we had our own policy manual for our own employees, same thing would apply. You're going to have that overall umbrella type of approach, but you're correct. There's not a situation where everybody's going to be able to successfully come after Trustee Kelly and say, where's your house? I would like your house.
Right.
I'd like all your cars, I'd like your motorcycle, I'd like whatever else you have.
That's what you're saying. That's the way you read that.
That's exactly how I read it.
I mean, because I don't, that kind of worries me, because we're not here every day.
No, and I
All we
understand.
do, I mean, we're not
I'm
in
not-
either his office, Denise's office, Ron's office, we don't have anything to do or say with what the everyday working.
You're
Right.
exactly.
All we do is
The
picture
way-
it's in, yeah, so
way I
that's why I
kinda-
have somewhat of a
The
problem.
way I kind of read it, though, Mike, I understand it as, because we have approved his budget, we're going to encourage John to be as safe and work as safe and be as, that's what we're saying. We're going to encourage him to be as safe as possible down at that highway department.
Which thankfully, we don't need with our highway commissioner.
Right.
He doesn't need this piece of paper to run a safe shop.
Right.
He's gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, he's going to do it anyway. We're going to.
The other reason why, if I'm Torma, I would much prefer to have this, but that's why they're telling our highway commissioner that it's not, there's not gonna be a penalty there, because we know that you're gonna run your shop, and you're gonna make sure that people aren't putting themselves in harm's way where they could get injured. It's just not, that's not the way things are done here.
So, any other questions?
I would just ask, what would you recommend? Is this something that we should agree to, or something that we should not agree to?
I would recommend that you consider agreeing to it, because it is standardized language. It's through Torma, which is the insurance carrier for the township. I would also suggest that you consider having, or suggesting to the highway commissioner, perhaps he wants to put it into their employee manual, similar to what I might suggest that this board does for, your own employee manual that you have for your employees of the township. Just it basically puts everybody on notice. Take care of what you're doing, be safe, don't be stupid.
The way this reads, it doesn't only talk about the highway commission, it talks about everyone that is here, like everyone.
Correct.
So basically, it's saying when you come here as a trustee, don't go up a ladder on the top rung.
No, I understand that, and
Safe.
that's what I
Do
wanted to
everything
make
safe.
clear, that
Right. Everybody, we want everybody in our township, anybody that works for our township, anybody that comes here, to be as safe as possible. We recommend that everybody's safe. And that's just
And
standard.
just to totally beat the dead horse, it's not as if you don't pass it, if all of a sudden you're gonna encourage the employees of the township to go off and do whatever they want.
be reckless.
Or to,
No.
or not to wear safety gear, or not to have steel-toed shoes on, if that's what they're supposed to do. That's why, being quite honest, Torma was telling our highway commissioner, we'd prefer that you sign it. It would save us if you get in a lawsuit, and then we don't have to go through a day's worth of questions, but you know what, at the end of the day, it means instead of it being a 5-week trial, it'll be a 4-week and 4-day trial. So what?
So the trustees are promising, by signing this, that Ron, Denise, John, and Debbie are gonna make sure everything's safe.
That they're going to make sure that they pass that information on to the employees of the township, who will hopefully follow it.
Work safe.
What you mean by putting it in my material is I would print out a copy and make sure everybody reads it, maybe initial the bottom that, yes, I've read that. Okay, I have no problem with that, but I'll do whatever.
I'll probably have them even sign the bottom of it
Okay.
on an annual basis,
And
just to
date.
remind them.
That's what we just started with the township.
Yep.
With all that Central Square Committee and all that, we did that with all the employees that work in this building, along with you guys all signed it too.
That part of this, that step that you then take, that will definitely be very helpful. If Torma were to hear that we did that, they would be very appreciative of that effort.
Right.
'Cause that's one step above what they even require.
Well, can I have a motion? Anybody wants to entertain a motion under our,
Ain't a motion to pass, to sign this? We to sign it?
Do you have a motion to approve and execute the policy?
What if we don't wanna sign it?
Then you can say no.
I can say, no, I don't wanna sign it.
Does it put us as trustees at any liability other than our, okay.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's why I said that they were being very straight with the highway commissioner when they said, you know what, this is what we would prefer that you have executed, but if you don't, doesn't mean that your insurance rate's gonna go up, doesn't mean that we're not gonna cover you. It just means that the township will be on record as not wanting to sign it.
Anybody want to entertain a motion?
So if we don't sign it, does it still go in the,
If we don't sign it, we don't sign it, but.
I make a motion that we table it till next month.
Hey, but this is 3 months now, we've been kicking this thing down the road. It's a boilerplate, just a boilerplate, insurance policy thing. It's up to you guys. If you want to table it, table it. I don't know why we're gonna change minds any different next month. What do you want me to do? I mean, you read it?
Okay, I rescind my,
Oh, we have,
let's make a decision.
he made a motion first, so we got.
Ron did.
Yeah, we
I'll
have to
make a
second-
motion.
We have to second that. but
Does
somebody
anybody make
second.
a stab?
How was the motion worded?
I make a motion that we accept the Torma loss control policy as a
I'll
township.
second it on the advice of our attorney.
Motion by myself.
Who's not responsible for anything.
I got a motion by myself and a second by Michael Kelly. We need a roll call on this?
I think I'd recommended it.
Let's do a roll call.
Alberico?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
Barisic?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Lewandowski?
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Thank you.
That was very easy. Thank you very much.
Any citizens here to address the highway commissioner tonight? Hearing none, we'll move on. I have no other business in the town, or the road and bridge. I would ask for an adjournment.
So moved.
I'll second it.
John Barisic, and a second by Michael Lewandowski. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on to our general assistance. You have the minutes of the regular June 10th meeting. I need a motion to pass the minutes.
So moved.
I got a motion by John Barisic,
I'll second it.
second by Barbara Boyce. Are there any questions of the minutes tonight? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We have the bills of $5,291.66. I have a motion to pay the bills.
So moved.
I got a motion by Mike Kelly,
I'll second it.
second by Barbara Boyce. Can I have a roll call, please?
Alberico?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
Barisic? Boyce?
Yes.
Lewandowski?
Yes.
Motion carries. I have no other business in general assistance. I would ask for an adjournment.
I'll second it.
I got a motion by Mike Kelly,
Oh, I'm sorry.
and I think Barbara
It was
Boyce did
Barbara.
second.
I didn't hear.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. Moving on to our senior fund. You have the minutes of the June 10th regular meeting in your packet. I need a motion to pass the minutes.
So moved.
I got a motion by John Barisic,
I'll second it.
second by Michael Lewandowski. Are any questions of the minutes tonight? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. You have the bills of $17,992.
I'll make that motion to pay the bills.
A
Second.
motion by Barbara Boyce and a second by, I'm sorry, Mike?
Mike Kelly.
Mike Kelly. Can I have a roll call, please? Or first, are there any questions of the bills? Hearing none, can I have a roll call?
Alberico?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
Barisic?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Lewandowski?
Yes.
All right, motion carries. In new business, we had a request from the Park District, Lockport Township Park District, to use our senior bus again. We've done this for the last, I believe, 2 years, the World War II days. What they do is they use our 2 buses and drivers, and they transfer World War II veterans from the different VFW posts. They bring them down to the World War II days. They give them a nice lunch, and they bring them to one of the battles, and then they bring them back. They entertain them. They have a nightclub, an old-time nightclub with the Andrews Sisters type of a band playing, and then our buses will take them back to the VFW posts. We, as a township, have in the past 2 years paid for the drivers and the fuel.
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Mike Kelly to do that again, a second by John Badasich. Roll call, please.
Alberico?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
Badasich?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Lewandowski?
Yes.
All right, motion carries. I will let them know the buses will be ready for them. The only other business I have in the senior fund, I did want to bring up on Wednesday, July 23rd. It's in about 2 weeks, I guess it is. They're going to have, the Park District is going to have a Seniors in Motion event here. It's going to be at Central Square out here in the evening from 6 to 8. They're going to have an ice cream social. They'll have local organizations to, like we'll be there, the township will be there, answering any questions the seniors have of what our programming. I believe JUCO will be here. There'll be 5 or 6 tables. They'll have, like I said, an ice cream social until the ice cream runs out. They'll also have music in the Shell, the band Shell out there. So it'll be a nice entertaining evening for seniors. It is open to everybody, and you don't have to be a senior to be here to get the ice cream or to listen to the music, but it is geared towards our seniors. So I did want to get the information out there. Like I said, there will be a band, and I understand they're pretty good.
Anybody we know?
Who is it?
It's the Ukulele Moonshine, which I'm a part of. So come on out that night. It'll be a lot of fun, a lot of information, a lot of vendors will be out there. So hope you guys will show up. And I don't have anything else tonight. I would ask for an adjournment.
So moved.
Motion by John Badasich,
I'll second it.
second by Barbara Boyce. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Good night.